things happen. I'm Hanisha Lalwani. Welcome to my show. I have someone very interesting for you to meet in this episode. Maria Adnan is a marketer turned author who was born and raised in Dubai and currently calls Canada home. With over 7 years in hospitality marketing and 5 years as a freelance copywriter, Maria has built her career around storytelling that connects. From developing campaigns for companies like Marriott and J Resorts and Hotels to writing for clients such as the Visit Dubai Tourism Board, Maria has enjoyed the process of transforming ideas into words that truly inspire action. Today, Maria is the founder of Love and Lights Press, an independent Canadian children's book publishing imprint. This year, she has authored and published her debut children's picture book called Duas in the Dark, a bedtime book of duas and gratitude, which is now available on Amazon, bookstores like Waterstones, Barnes & Noble, as well as independent online and offline bookstores around the world. Let's listen to Maria's journey from being a marketer in Dubai to a self-published children's book author in Ontario. Maria, welcome to my podcast. Thank you so much for making time to join me today. You've been in my list of guests to interview for a very long time because of your can-do attitude. You and me have been former colleagues. We quickly became friends. When I moved to Dubai, you held my hands through navigating this new city, through the work environment. So I'll never forget that. And I'm so glad today we can connect over my podcast to understand how you make things happen. I want to start first with, you were raised in this amazing city, Dubai. And when I think about people in my network who just love this city, identify with it, you are at the top of that list. Having grown up here, you've also seen Dubai transform tremendously. How can you help people understand what is so distinctive and unique about Dubai?
Okay, so first of all, Hanisha, I am so excited to do this with you and have this conversation. It's not just a conversation. I feel like we're going to be catching up about some amazing things. And congratulations on the podcast as well. This is so you. And I love that for you. And honestly, to start with my favorite topic, which is Dubai.
Yeah.
And like you said, how much I love this city, and showing you around the city was probably one of my favorite things to do. And you say that, like, what is so special about Dubai? Dubai never leaves you. It like stays within you. And the reason I say that is I was so blessed to have been brought up there, yes, but I was also born in Dubai. And it's all thanks to my grandfather who moved back in 1968. If he hadn't taken that step, that risk at that time, I would have lived a very different life probably. And I was able to witness Dubai from a very different lens. Like, I call it the 90s lens. So you can almost imagine an old like video camcorder, and it's like you're watching a reel of Dubai. That's how I remember my childhood.
Wow.
The Dubai Shopping Festival, that the beginning of the Dubai Shopping Festival, Global Village back then, some wonderful memories. And I studied in Dubai, I did my school, I did university, and then I worked in hospitality. And in Dubai, you get to interact with a lot of people, right?
Yeah.
You get to engage with people from all over the world. You are, you sort of, it's like a window into different cultures, religions, upbringings, thought processes, and most importantly, the number of accents that you come across is wild. And the reason I bring that up is because Dubai never leaves you, is because the Dubai accent comes with you wherever you go. When I moved to Canada, people were like, "Your accent is Indian, but there's something else in there." And I was like,
You can't put a finger on it.
"You can't put a finger in it." I was like, "That's the Dubai accent," and I'm holding it strong. I'm like, I want my daughter to have the Dubai accent, and my husband's like, "No, wait." But no, you're truly influenced by so many parts of the world, right? But again, for so many of us that grew up in Dubai in the 90s, we all had very simple upbringings. My parents, they had 9 to 5 jobs. We lived and still live in Dera, which is, essentially the old side of Dubai now. And when I go home, my favorite thing to do when I land and before I leave for the airport is to pick up 1 dirham chai. And that
I
will
knew,
never change.
I knew it.
That will never change. And I introduced my husband to it. And now he is the one, before we leave for the airport, he's like, should we just tell the Uber driver to stop and pick up chai? And I'm like, why are you even asking? Like, yes. So,
Wow.
so to answer your question, Dubai isn't, for me at least, Dubai isn't a city. It's a feeling. And no matter where I'll end up in the world, and I've ended up pretty far, it never leaves you. And I think it's in the way that you see the world, like the way you connect with people. Dubai gave me that world before I had to leave it, if that makes
Yeah.
any sense. And for that, I'll always be grateful. And also, number one, the safety
Hmm.
and the opportunities as a woman. So I'm very grateful for what Dubai has given me. And I think that's what's so special about the place.
I think I resonate with that 100%. It's the opportunities that you get here
Yeah.
and the safety. I've never felt so safe in my life. I don't think twice walking out at night. And I think the other aspect that you touched upon was the exposure to so many different cultures. It gives you wings to fly, the city. The city
Yes,
is what I feel. And
absolutely.
then, when you were here, you donned a couple of hats in your corporate career. You worked as a PR specialist, and then you took on a generalist marketing role. You worked with brands like J Resorts and Hotels and Marriott. What is it that you enjoyed about being a marketer? And uh, did you prefer being a jack of all trades or deep diving into one particular specialism?
Um, the question itself is such a flashback because I feel like I've lived a whole different life. And as a marketer, I always I think I'd had this on my website initially that I've written all kinds of copy. I've written the copy that would go in a very successful ad campaign for, the Sarai Spa, the JW Marriott Marquis, to writing one-liners that we would stick in the ladies' washroom at our rooftop bar at the W. So I feel like I've written copy for just about anything and everything, and I've loved all of it. Sometimes, depending on the number of drafts I had to write, not so much, but I've genuinely loved every moment of it, and it taught me so much. And, you know, as a good marketer, I think over time, this is what I have learned, that as a good marketer, you don't want to lose a human touch. I think
Hmm.
we forget that behind all those, like, demographics and data points and everything, there's actually somebody real sitting behind there. There's someone with
Yeah.
real life problems and real emotions and all of that. And then if we don't remember about that human touch, the marketing just becomes noise, and you have to genuinely care. And while I loved every single bit of whatever I did, I think towards the end of my sort of the end of my hospitality career, I went like, I want something else. I,
Hmm.
you know, I didn't, I couldn't seem to connect anymore with like how
Right.
many people were coming to the brunch.
Hmm.
Um, Not because there was anything wrong with it. It was just me. I just felt like something is pulling me in a different direction. And
Wow.
that's where I think my path changed. And that's
Hmm.
when I went like, oh, maybe I don't want to be a jack of all trades and I want to focus on something to get somewhere else. And I didn't know what that somewhere else was. I really didn't. I made this career change in a very difficult time of my life. COVID had hit. I got married. I moved. And I literally went from having a very, very busy job where I would sometimes work on the weekends too, to then suddenly just sitting all the way in Canada. And I remember I would look outside my window and there would be like the autumn leaves all on the floor. And I would just be staring just for a while because I was like lost. So I was like, what do I want? And that's where I went from being jack of all trades to like focusing on one particular part, which was copywriting.
Wow.
Um, and I wanted to connect with people
Hmm.
directly. I wanted to be I wanted to be the voice that they hear and the ideas are coming directly from me rather than having all these people and things. I just wanted to cut all the noise.
Hmm. That is
So
quite interesting.
that's why I went from a corporate role. I could have done a corporate job here. I could
Yeah.
have 100%. I had really good experience, but I felt like something wasn't right. And that's when I took on a freelance copywriting role, which in a way I'm still marketing myself, right? I still have to be in that aspect a jack of all trades and be able to market myself as a freelance copywriter. So I can't fully release myself from that role, but I change it a little bit.
Right. We are all the marketers of our lives, right? So, but I like
Always.
what you said about, kind of losing that human touch. There is no shortage of metrics in marketing. You go from impressions to CTA to, I don't know, like click-through rates. The metrics just keep increasing. Customer lifetime value. I mean, we can go on. But you're so right in reminding us that there is a human that we want to speak to as a brand, um, and we have to keep it real. So it's interesting how you heard your voice and that led you to writing as Maria. Um, and I think that brings me to my next question. You, after being born and raised in Dubai for so many years,
Yeah.
you moved to Canada. It's been 6 years that you've been there now. That is home for you now. You also became a new mom. This is a lot of transition in one's life, especially in a very short span of time. I'm very interested because I've moved countries myself, and I'm very interested to understand how you coped with so much change. And especially because you actually had a huge geographic distance in play with your story. How did you cope with so much change?
Oh my gosh. It took time. It took a lot of time. And I think it's only this year where I can actually say, oh, I feel settled. Like now I know that this is home. And I want to be honest, like people, when people move countries, like we romanticize the idea, like, oh, I'm moving to Canada, mountains and
Yeah,
greenery. And yes, of
correct.
course, it's really beautiful. There's no doubt about that. And I was also very excited in the beginning, in the honeymoon phase. It's like, oh, I'm gonna
Mhm.
live in a new country. But when I moved, it hit. And
Yeah.
it felt like somebody took away my cushion and cut the cord, like as if I like and truly this is like as if somebody cut the umbilical cord with my mom and my dad, because
Yeah.
I felt lost. And while I had a wonderful community, a wonderful in-laws and community of family and friends, somehow you still feel alone
Hmm.
because you're trying to navigate something so new, right? And Dubai gave me the best of the best. So to now come to Canada is a completely different education, a different ball game, different pace, a different way of existing.
Hmm.
And the winters alone were a whole journey. Like I still remember, I was like, I'm gonna help my husband like what do you call it? Remove the snow from the shovel the snow, and I did it once for 2 hours. I took lots of reels, and then I was like, I'm never doing that again. It's like it was so hard. It was so hard. And yeah, I resisted. I resisted for very long. But I had to I had to realize that this is home and that I can have two homes. And the one thing I will say is that professionally, Dubai gave me a really good foundation because they'd already introduced me to all these cultures and religions and different ways of doing things. So professionally, I was already ready, comfortable with that making that change to Canada. I already knew how to like sort of enter a room and interact with people who don't have the same face as me or the same accent as me. But yeah, so yeah, Dubai, trained me for that, I would say. Um, Personally, Canada, I think Canada showed me a mirror
Hmm.
and went like, what do you like about yourself? What what do you know about yourself? Away from everything that I had known all my life, right? Who are you? What are you good at? What do you want in life? And it was hard. It was hard to look into that mirror and have to rediscover myself. Um, and those questions that I was asking myself, um, it went unanswered for a while. Even after
Hmm.
having a child, it went unanswered. It just question mark. I genuinely, I'm telling you, I feel like I had a huge giant question mark on my face. Even though I was still freelance copywriting, it just something just felt like it wasn't sticking. And yeah, those questions that I kept asking, it finally led me to this, to the book, to
But
writing.
did those questions come from a place of being ambitious?
No, I just wanted to feel fulfilled. I
Hmm.
felt like I wasn't living my worth, if that makes sense. I
Yeah.
felt like I had something to give, but I just didn't know what it was. Um, and it was like a gap, just a gap in myself. And it's not like anybody was turning around and pointing fingers at me and saying, oh, you need to go to work now, and nothing. There was no pressure
Right.
whatsoever. It was my own pressure that I was putting on myself. Like, who am I? And it's hard, like, over the years, as I'm obviously being a mom and going through postpartum, to see other people's successes on like LinkedIn, it was very hard for me, you
Yeah.
know, to be like, oh, look at all these people, they're having this wonderful movement in their life, and I feel like I'm standing still and not moving. But even if I move, where do I go?
Hmm.
I don't want to do at in this very moment, I don't want to go back to a 9 to
Hmm.
5. I need something else. What is that something else?
Wow.
So
So, wow. So and I know that as you were dealing with all of these questions around purpose, identity, you were also then dabbling into freelance content writing. I know that you pursued photography. Um, my question here is, what did you find operating outside of the corporate environment? Monetizing some of your hobbies in this in between phase, in this phase of
mm,
limbo where you were searching for purpose. Uh, what was it like operating outside of that corporate structure?
freedom,
Hmm.
joy, peace, to be my own um boss in a way, to listen to my own voice and go with my own gut. Because for so long, when you also work in a team, a department, like with all the hierarchies, somewhere along the way your voice sometimes does get lost. And this felt like, oh, I can hear my own voice and I can do what I want to do. This is so crazy. I started working in 2013, just fresh out of university, and I had the incredible managers, incredible colleagues, but somewhere along the way, when you're trying to do what's best for the team and the department and the brand and the blah blah blah, somewhere your voice is a little bit lost.
Hmm.
So I felt like this is my chance. Maybe should I just tune into my own channel for the first time? And that was very refreshing, right? And I
So
think
it
it
is
came at the right
possible,
time. Sorry, go ahead.
sorry to interrupt, but it is possible to feel lost and joy at the same time. It's
It is.
it,
It
it's
is.
so interesting.
It's like yeah, it's like while you're trying to seek, it's like you're like in a dark cave and you're like finding little treasures as you go. You're lost, but you're still finding the little treasures as you go. So I think
Hmm.
that's my journey a little bit, especially because I'm still dabbling in a lot of different things. It's not just, the writing. I love taking pictures. Photography is very close to my heart. Content creation is too. And yeah, it's like I'm like walking through this path trying to like do all these different things. And it's wonderful. It's wonderful that I'm able to do these things. And I now say that I have like a stir fry of talents.
Hmm.
and and
Hmm.
I need to own that. And maybe along the way, this is just who I was meant to be. Is this maybe not stir fry, maybe biryani of talents or something like that? I don't
A
know.
multi-hyphenate, maybe say.
What?
A
Sorry?
multi-hyphenate.
Yeah, but no, I'm very grateful that I also have like I am in Canada now where I'm able to dabble in all these things.
Hmm.
And there is so much
Yeah,
opportunity, especially for women, female like entrepreneurs. The again, I'm using the word a lot, but the opportunity is incredible, and the community is wonderful.
that's so
Um,
lovely to hear that.
yeah.
I think it's your open-mindedness that allowed you to see all of these things, see the opportunity around you. When it's really dark, we tend to not be able to focus on what can work, what is possible. But you allowed yourself to, you know, look at the horizons, which is again not easy, Maria. Like you did it, but you have done it, and it took you time. You're acknowledging that it took you time to get to that point. Um, Somewhere along the way then when you allowed yourself to feel lost and find joy in your hobbies, and in some solid freelance work that you did during that time, you then decided to not only write your first book, a children's book called Duas in the Dark, but you also decided to self-publish the book. Please take me back to that moment when you decided that this was going to be your next mission.
The book or the self-publishing
The
piece?
book. The book.
The book.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. I think it was a mix of different things that happened. I had a baby, and when she was about 2 years old, I was going through a really hard time. I had a lot of anxiety, a couple of health issues that I was dealing with, and at the same time, I was starting to teach her about Allah, and simple words, little duas, whatever I remember my dadi used to teach us when we were younger. And I wanted Islam to feel approachable to her, to feel comforting, to not be heavy or complicated. She's a little girl, right? And I wanted it to also not be too preachy because she doesn't have her age kids, they don't have the capacity to also listen to a lot of heavy things, and they have to be able to connect it with real life. For example, getting scared of the dark, or say if I have to go out somewhere and I have to say mommy will be back soon, these like little situations, I felt like it needed something, the crutch of Allah, like to be able to say, don't worry, Allah is right here, you're safe. So I found that I was looking for a book that, couple of things that obviously was on the topic of Allah, but it was not too preachy. It was very gentle. I wanted it to be very visually beautiful. There are some stunning children's picture books out there, but I
Yeah.
couldn't find one that was particularly about this topic.
Hmm.
And I was like, if I can't find it, maybe other Muslim moms couldn't find it. And at like sort of that book, the reason why I also wanted to do a book is how when my daughter was born, I started handing her books since she was like a week old. I would sit with her in a recliner and read books to her. So I always knew it had to be a book. Books have
Right.
always been a big part of my life. I mean, I
Yeah.
have this Harry Potter wallpaper on my back on my wall because I'm obsessed with the books. But it's not even about the story. I'm just obsessed with books in general and how it takes you into a magical world. So like I knew that I wanted to do something with books. And it couldn't be a reel, it couldn't be a TikTok, or like it had to be just this. Because in that moment when you're reading to your child, the lights are dim and they're sitting in your arms so safely because you are their world. And then they're looking at this book in your hands and they're flipping through and they're imagining a whole new world.
Hmm.
And there's something so magical about that. And so yeah, so somewhere like that was a second part of that where I knew it had to be a book. Now again, at the same time, emotionally, physically, mentally, I was becoming somebody I couldn't recognize. And it was that question, that mirror, right? Who am I? What am I seeing in the mirror? Do I like what I see in the mirror? Do I like what trajectory I'm on? And my husband is the one who turned to me and he said, "What is your purpose, Maria? What is your purpose? What makes you happy?" And genuinely in that moment, I felt very attacked. I was like, don't tell me what my purpose is. But he was right, And I said to him, I said, I want to write a book. He's like,
You just said it out. You vocalized it.
yeah. Finally, I like vocalized it because it was something that was there. Like I had mentioned it maybe a year ago. I had put it on this, what do you call that?
A vision.
The yes. What's the word? I had put it on a vision board. I want to be a successful children's book author. I did, and then I forgot about it. Genuinely, I did. And yeah, so I went to him and I said, I want to write a
Wait,
book.
did
And he
you
said,
make that vision board before you became a mom or after you became a mom?
after I became a mom, but I had
Okay.
put it on a vision board and I forgot about it. I
Yeah.
didn't remember that I put it there. Um, and then he's like, okay, so right, just matter of fact. So I jumped out of bed. Real story. I really jumped out of bed. It was in the night. My little one she was sleeping next to me, and the lights were off. And I opened my laptop, and it was literally nothing else in the room, no other lights, just the glow of the laptop. And I started writing. And I wrote what is now Do Us in the Dark. And then I wrote. And then I wrote some more. I opened another tab. I kept writing and I wrote and I wrote and I wrote. And a few weeks later, I went to my husband and I literally danced into his office and I was like, I'm going to be a published author. And he looks at me and he smiles very matter of fact because after so long, I was smiling again. But
Wow.
his smile was so knowing because he had already seen that potential in me. And he always has, whether it came to my photography or anything else. He's always been like, you like taking pictures? Take pictures. Like, very
It's so
matter of fact, because
simple.
he's like,
Yeah.
how do you not see what I'm seeing?
Hmm.
Very simple. And so he was smiling and I was smiling. And then I went away and went to do all the research that I had to do to figure out how I was going to do this. That's how
What
the book
a
came about.
what a lovely story. I want you to elaborate more on identifying that niche. You said that as a Muslim mother, you couldn't find anything that connected your faith to children, introducing your faith to children at a very, very young age. Uh, talk to me about, focusing on that particular niche.
Yeah, absolutely. There is a big space open for writing a book like that. It is a niche, but there's a big, wonderful space for it. And as I was doing my research, that's what I came across. And I was like, this is something that I can tap into. Because
Wow.
genuinely, I will like say that when whatever has come out of my mouth as my little one has been growing up, um, in ways to comfort her, like if she has questions, Mama, why is the moon so big? Mama, why is where does Allah hide? Like there's these little moments that I have with her and I'm like, that's a book. I'm not even joking, that's a book.
Your little baby has been giving you ideas for
She's
for
been
the
giving
book.
me ideas this whole time basically.
Yeah.
And um that niche is so wonderful. Why not
Yeah.
tap into it, right? And give children this little very gentle introduction into Islam, which is again, I say, just something that will make them feel like it's easy to reach, um, and not something that they cannot understand. So that's my goal with Duas in the Dark, but also with Lights and Love Press, is that that's what I want to do is connect children very beautifully to the idea of Islam, um, and that Allah is really there to keep them safe and make them
Mm.
feel comforted. That's basically what I want to do, because that's what it's done for me, especially during this time in my life when I was going through all these transitions. So, yeah, I just want her to feel that way, my little one, and for anybody else who reads the book or any, inshallah, like future books, to feel that same way, to just feel comforted. And you don't even have to be Muslim. I've had a lot of feedback from, people from other religions who've bought the book and said, wait a minute, this is not very preachy. We can read this to our kids. And I love that. I love that they would find the book so accessible to share it with their kids.
Because I think comforting your children, small kids, it's a universal emotion, right? So
Mm.
it's not about that specific faith, but I, only when I was doing my bit of research into, your book, did I realize, my God, this is actually a niche. And I've never heard about faith-inspired children's books, but why not? Why hasn't
Yeah.
anyone, pursued that niche? In your own words, you say that your book, Duas in the Dark, is an Islamic bedtime book which helps children end their day with comfort, calm, and connection to Allah. It's so beautiful, and there is a universality to it. People from different faiths can absolutely connect with it, just to find joy and comfort before bedtime. How beautiful! How beautiful!
It really
um,
is.
Maybe even I will read it because I'm
You
just like
should.
scrolling at night, right? I'm
You
putting
should.
myself to bed with, horrible news around the world. Maybe I should pick up a copy as well.
It
And then
should.
it's that relevance to adults, I have to say.
Absolutely. And it teaches you gratitude, right? How many of us we go to bed
Yes.
and we're like, oh, today was this and today was that and blah, blah, blah. But we're not like looking
Yeah.
at the good things that happened. And I do this
Yes.
a lot too. I'll do it a lot too. And then I have to remind myself, no, I need to be grateful. I had a wonderful day. I played. I didn't play, but like, and
You play with your kids?
I played. I had my matcha, which I love. I did
Yeah.
this, I did that. It's like when we start looking at all the good things, we realize actually it was a wonderful day. There was some, ups and downs, but it's okay.
Confidence.
Tomorrow's
Yeah.
a new day. But I'm ready to go to bed now because I want to sleep really well and God is taking care of me. That's essentially
Mm.
what the book is from a little girl's mind.
Perspective.
Yeah,
Yeah.
perspective.
When I
Yeah.
was going through some of the reviews your book has generated, three words really kind of stood out to me: heartwarming, peaceful, beautiful. It must take some discipline or some intention to write those words that generate these emotions in the reader's mind. What kind of mind space did you have before you started writing, typing?
Before I started, very troubled. And I'm not going to lie about that. I was very troubled. I was very uh frustrated. The moment I started writing from genuinely a mama's heart. I I turned inwards and maybe channeled my own mother a little bit. That peace that she gets on her face when she prays her namaz every day. There's this, and I'm gonna try to describe it at best. So back home in Dubai, when the azan is, you can hear it from the outside. It like rings. We have a mosque very close to our house. The azan, like sort of echoes through our windows. And my mom also puts it on the TV. And then at the same time, she's walking around the house with holding an incense burner. She walks around and she's letting the oud sort of go into all our spaces. The AC is on, so there's a gentle hum of the AC. And when I was little, I would watch my parents pray their namaz, and there is a sense of peace. I can't explain it. It like washes over the house. There were a lot of times when I moved to Canada, I would just close my eyes and take myself back there,
Mm.
because that
Mm.
10 minutes of that prayer time, 10-15 minutes, the house is like, it's
Yeah.
so peaceful. That
Mm.
energy is what I embodied and I kept in my mind and in my heart as I was writing the book. Um, and my mother is actually a convert. She was not born Muslim, and her belief in the duas, in every dua, is so immense that I feel like every time she whispers it, she's whispering it, but it is echoing very loudly around me like a bubble. So that is exactly the kind of feeling that I think I had as I was writing the book, because it felt like I was now taking that
Wow.
piece out and putting it on paper. Genuinely.
So beautifully articulated.
Thank you.
So beautifully
I
articulated.
think I'm very grateful for my parents, because the way they've um, explained Islam to me and taught it to me, and the way they continue to not represent, but like just the way they are, the way they practice is so beautiful. And I wanted that to kind of trickle into the book. And yes, when you open the book and when you read Duas in the Dark, it's a very simple book. I've told everybody this. Don't expect some intense, very deep, questions and emotions and things. It's
Plot
very simple.
twist.
There's no plot twist at all in the book. It's very simple, but there is a lot of story behind that. And inshallah, there is more to come that will hopefully be a little bit more deep and intense, but we also have to write to the age group. Um, but yeah, that's the emotion I had when I was writing the
So
book.
you helped me totally visualize this in my head. And I've also been to your house in Dubai, so I can actually see, the scene that you're trying to paint
Yeah,
for us.
yeah,
But it's so well articulated how you, approached your writing every single day for this beautiful book. It's no coincidence that
no,
this product is what it is today.
no,
Um, but when you think about like children's books, illustrations are so central to them.
yeah,
They help you really, they turn the book into such a powerful visual medium of storytelling.
yeah.
How did you choose your illustrator? First of all, who is your illustrator? How did you choose him or her? And what was that collaboration like?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Her name is Anna Belfer, so she's located in Vietnam. I found her on Behance, and I hope I'm pronouncing that right. But and she, I reached out to so many illustrators, like from all over the world. Behance connects you with people from everywhere, and then I had spoken to a bunch of people from India as well, very talented people. Some were too expensive. Some I don't think they so connected with the vision. Some outrightly said we don't do religious books, and I was like, okay, fair enough, but also buy, like, and then I found Anna, and Anna was, the moment I sent her the concept, she immediately said yes. There was no hesitation. She's like, I think this is a beautiful topic, and that response already told me something about her, and you could tell that she wasn't just after the job, like she was genuinely interested in helping me create, like, make this vision real. And my brief to her was very detailed because our Marriott days of briefing graphic designers really paid off.
Absolutely.
um and I think you remember how detailed my briefs used to be. um so I knew how to communicate the vision. I probably just didn't know how to draw it. I tried to do some like things to show her, and luckily she understood whatever I was trying to tell her. And what I learned along the way is that this illustrator that I'm hiring, she's not going to just draw pretty pictures for me. She's trying to make my dream come true,
Yes.
and I need to give her that respect that she deserves. She's not, just because I'm paying her doesn't mean that, oh, I can like talk to her any way I want and demand things to be done right away. No, and I did a reel on my Instagram that shows her process a little bit. And it is crazy. I think even when I hired her, I didn't fully understand how they illustrate. I just had this vision that, oh, they take an iPad and then they draw and then they color. No, she is sketching on a real paper. She is sketching and then she uses watercolors to paint it, and then she does some technology after that, which is just goes above my head. But just it blew my mind. It really did. And you know when it's an author and illustrator relationship, you yeah, they need to get your vision, they need to be easy to work with, but also if they know self-publishing, like platforms, like they know about it, they know how to use it. It's
Hmm.
so helpful because there's all these specifications that if somebody is doing it for the first time, they would not know.
Wow.
Print requirements, sometimes you're uploading files again and again and it's getting rejected. So she was so helpful in just knowing how to go about it because she had done it before. So that was a big plus for me. It saved us like weeks of back and forth. Weeks. So yeah, that's pretty much how I chose Anna, and I'm so glad I did. She's amazing.
It, I think it's a real marriage here, right? The author and illustrator
Yes.
partnership. And I think I really like what you said, that this is not a relationship where there's power leverage. You are both equal partners in this. It's not about you paying her and telling her what to do. It's about really leveraging her skills and her experience. And I think there's something about us both having that experience working on the agency side when it came to marketing, to
Yes.
have that humility
Yeah.
of collaborating with different people. So I would credit that aspect of our careers, because it's
Absolutely.
so important having that humility to work with someone that you are paying. So I thank you for shedding light on that. I think that's something that I wanted to sort of reinforce as well. But
Yeah.
my podcast, as you know, is called Making Things Happen, and you certainly made magic happen. You took one idea from the darkness and turned it into a book, which is now, maybe please acknowledge, a best-selling children's book on Amazon. It's now available in iconic bookstores around the world. My favorite, the Waterstones in the UK, Foyles, you have Barnes and Nobles in the US. The list goes on. Now, you never wrote a book before. You did not study literature. And so, for others who harbor a dream of becoming an author, what were the practical steps you took that got you to this book? So we heard about your idea, the process that got you to the idea. We heard about how you identified the illustrator. But how does someone, as an outsider, go about publishing her own book?
Oh gosh. First, research to death. Like just keep researching, put your notes down, read everything, watch everything, ask people, connect with people. Reddit threads are great for
Hmm.
information, but you have to be careful about that too. You just gotta fact check
Take it
wherever
with
you
a
can.
pinch of salt, yeah.
YouTube videos, people who've done it before, absorb as much as you can. But then at some point, you have to stop consuming because you will drive yourself crazy. And then you start creating. Um, and the reason I say that is because the research will never be complete. It'll never
Yeah.
end. And that's okay. Then you identify what is it that you want to do. You hone in on that, right? It's like, so mine was the niche Muslim, Islamic kids book. That's what I wanted to do. So you need to, whatever 10 things that you were thinking about, you got to drill it down. Do one thing or that one idea, one skill, whatever it is that you keep coming back to, that's your main idea. Then you do something small with it. you like don't execute, you can't execute everything all at once, but maybe the first thing is, oh, you want to start looking at illustrators, start looking at illustrators, so
Mm.
you know what your vision looks like. And illustration is like a world, like there's so many different styles you can go down. And that's another black hole, I will say. I'm not going to deny that. So you decide what that next step is, but do it. Don't be like, I'll do it tomorrow, it feels too overwhelming, I'll do it tomorrow. No, do it now. Okay, then you, once you've narrowed that down, then you go on to your next step. And the one thing I will say is the water is not crystal clear when you enter it. It's always going to be murky. You'll still be looking, am I standing on stones? Is there like, am I standing on a little crab? Is there anything around me? The water is never crystal clear. So you're never going to get it from the get go. You're going to have to stand in it, wade in the water, walk around, and eventually the water will start clearing up. So stop, don't wait for things to feel like ready. You know, in all my research, I would come across all these wonderful, women, female authors of children's picture books, of other Muslim kids' books.
Mm.
And I'd be like, oh my God, look, they have it all figured out. No, they didn't. They didn't. Cut to maybe 3-4 years ago, they didn't. They're on their second book now, maybe third book. They do have agents, or maybe they had approached hundreds of agents. They also went through this murky water. Nobody gets it from the beginning. So everyone has a starting point. So it's okay to be confused. It's okay to be flustered. Just give yourself grace.
Yeah.
And also, I didn't plan to self-publish. I just knew that I wanted my name on a children's book. It's like,
Mm.
how am I going to get there? I'm going to figure it out.
So talk
So
about that decision then to self-publish your book.
honestly, it was very interesting. The fact that now in this day and age we can self-publish.
Yeah.
What? Who
Mm.
10, 15 years ago when we were sitting in university, we would have never thought that that would be possible.
Mhm.
Okay, I made us sound very young 10, 15 years ago. I don't think university, but yeah. But the fact that this is it, it's not easy. I have to say it's not easy to self-publish, but it is definitely accessible. It is possible, and I wanted to try something different.
Right.
I wanted to see if this route is going to work for me, and I didn't want to knock it until I didn't try it. So yes, have I taken a risk? Absolutely. But
Because
am I?
often
Yes.
what happens is that people try to pitch their stories to different publishing houses, get rejected time and time again, and then go into that option of self-publishing. You did it in the reverse way.
I did it in the reverse way because I think I was maybe a little bit stubborn and impatient. I said, I want to see my
Okay.
dream come alive now.
Okay.
Because I knew that if I went down the other route, it would take time,
Years, maybe.
years. And there's a sea of wonderful people out there trying to make this possible. And I was like, if I can try to do it a little bit faster, why don't I try that? Is it a risk? Yes. But what is life without some risks? I took a risk by moving to Canada.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now this is my home. So I was like, I just have to try this. And if it doesn't work, I will have learned from it and I will try something else. So,
Fascinating.
sorry?
Fascinating.
Yeah. So that's why I decided the self-publishing route. And it has been interesting. It really has been interesting. And I'm again very grateful to be able to do it.
I it's I mean, for someone who does not have a lot of patience, I like that you mentioned speed. You wanted to see your labor translate into result in your own time. So I think that's a very interesting attitude towards considering self-publishing. Um, I never thought about it from that perspective before.
Yeah, I think it's
So
okay to
how would-
say as well that I'm impatient. I think it's okay. I think some of us just want. I didn't take shortcuts. In no way is self-publishing a shortcut. It is
correct.
hard. You
Yeah.
have to market yourself like crazy. So it's not easy
It's not
at
easy. It's
all.
not the
It is
easy way out for
it's
sure.
not the easy way out. No,
Yeah.
no. Every sale that comes in, I can see. I mean, I don't know who's buying the book, but I can see the sales. I can see which country it comes from. And I'm like eagerly watching the numbers turn. I love that connection as well. You see, it's like
Wow.
so direct. It's so
Yes.
direct. Even the reviews, I'm like seeing them right away as I get it, and I'm like, oh my God. Um, so yeah, it has. I think it's definitely different from going the traditional route with an agent. But I'm glad I've at least tried this, and I hope that if I stick to it, it's successful. That's the goal.
You really highlighted a very different perspective to looking at self-publishing, and you're really claiming that power back in your own hands, to set out to tell the stories that you want to say it at your timeline. So, bravo.
Thank you.
um, and you talked about, making your book available across these different platforms, different countries. I mean, the retail distribution angle it must be a whole other Pandora's box to
Yeah.
this journey, right? Um, and as a former marketer, how are you then also using your skills and experience to now marketing yourself as an author? So could you
Yeah.
talk about that retail distribution piece and then also marketing yourself as an author?
Yeah, absolutely. Honestly, writing the book was the easiest part. I know I wrote a lot of drafts, but putting it out in the world is a completely different
Ball
project.
game.
Like
Yeah.
you need a different skill, and I think that's why like touch wood, the background in PR and marketing has saved me in a way. Um like for the book to be findable, you before you can buy it, like I had to research keywords and categories and how Amazon's algorithm
Hmm.
brings the book up on the rankings and SEO and audience targeting. So yeah, it felt like I was just sort of reliving things from like the past from my hospitality background, but it's different tools, same thinking. Like in hotels, we had the TripAdvisor reviews, and here I have to focus on Goodreads and Amazon reviews. Same concept, different platform. The technical side though, like genuinely so I've self-published through Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing and Ingram Sparks. So it's two different platforms. But you have to be very careful when you're uploading to both, because Ingram also feeds into Amazon. So you have to uncheck something when you're uploading the book so that it doesn't like sort of clash. Pricing has to be just right. You basically have to make sure you're not undercutting yourself in different places. And there's so many layers to it, but Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing gives you global Amazon sales, right?
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to paperback, Amazon KDP does not do hardcover. That comes through Ingram. So
Right.
that's what they feed into Amazon KDP, the
Okay.
hardcover.
Okay.
But because there's some third party pricing, the hardcover shows us a little bit more pricier. So that
Yeah.
isn't my main focus at this point. It's the
Mm.
paperback. Paperback is where my money is at. And Ingram Spark basically makes it easier for bookstores, libraries, and like international retailers to be able to buy the book and stock it.
Got it.
So the wonderful thing that worked out for me is that the book is available at, like you said, the Waterstones and Barnes and Noble. It's all available online, so people have to order it and then it will get delivered.
Mhm.
But that's the beauty of it as well. It's just like you don't even need to step. Technically, to buy the book, you don't need to step into the bookstore to get it at the moment. But the goal is for that to happen. So
Right.
over time it will. And patience, now this is where I cannot be impatient. I have to be patient. And I have a story here as to why. My book was not showing up on Amazon AE, which is for UAE, right? And I kept thinking, why? Why? I want it to happen now because I wanted the book to be available where I was born. And I couldn't understand. And all I kept reading on these Reddit threads and these Facebook groups is like, be patient, be patient, be patient. And one evening, as I was simply, scrolling, I went on Amazon.ae and I was like 2 hours in the dark. it showed up.
Hmm.
And I went to my husband and, I had my night guard in and I was trying to speak with my night guard and he's like, what are you saying? And I went, and he's like, what are you saying? And then I took out the night guard and I was like, my book is on Amazon AE. And he went, what? I was like, it's right here. Look, look. And that's when I realized I have to be patient because it is going to happen. So similarly with the bookstores, about it being physically in bookstores, it's going to happen. It'll just take time.
Wow.
But that's basically, so that's obviously the technical side of like publishing through Amazon and Ingram Sparks. But yeah, nobody tells you have to deal with metadata, keywords, wholesale discounts, library distribution systems. Like I now have to, I am actively reaching out to libraries and Islamic schools here to do book readings, book signings,
Love it.
and putting myself out there, which
Yeah.
is scary. And that's the one thing you need to know. When you self-publish, you have to be ready to put yourself out there.
Mhm.
Whatever imposter syndrome you have and fears, out the window. You
And this is
don't.
where you need to exercise your PR muscle, right?
Absolutely. And that smiling face and that, your joyful spirit, that's what needs to show up
Mhm.
on social media. You
Yes.
need to show up. You
Mhm.
cannot publish a book and just sit there and be like, okay, I'm not selling anything. No, you have to move. You have to act, you have to show up. And I think that for me has been, I think, one of the harder pieces
But
is
I
the
would imagine
showing
it
up.
comes to you so naturally. You're quite a social, gregarious, bubbly, chirpy person.
I think I don't want to say I used to be. I am definitely that, but I think over the years, I think I just sort of became a little bit more introverted, and I became almost fearful of just speaking up on social media
Mhm.
about just anything. I think I started worrying a lot about what people would say, or like just just that constantly worrying about what people would say. And then I read Mel Robbins' book, which is letting them theory.
Let them. Yes.
And you know what? Let them say what they want to say. Let
Mhm.
them think what they want to think. I don't actually think there's anybody out there who'd want to see me fail. I
Most of
think
the
it's just
time, it's in our head.
it's in our head. We are our own critics, right? We constantly critique ourselves. We constantly want, I don't know, like as if we want ourselves to like have a misstep. I don't know why. We just do it to ourselves. So I think, and the imposter syndrome was ringing very loud. But I reminded myself, I said, what I'm actually putting out there in the world is a beautiful thing. I'm not talking about some like random things and trying to be good at it. This is actually something for children. It's about comfort. It's about Allah. Like there's what I'm actually talking about is something so beautiful. So why am I afraid?
Hmm.
So that's when I went like, nope, that's it. That's it. I gotta start showing up on social media because social media is connection, it is communication, conversation, and ultimately conversion.
Yeah.
So, and that might take time.
All the C's. All the C's.
All the C's. And that the conversion goal is going to make me do all the connecting and the communicating
Yes.
and the conversing. So it's okay. And
And
yeah,
I
so
hope that, when you visit Dubai every year, you do something here as well.
I want to, yeah. I
Yes,
really want to.
like book readings, like we need that stuff here, and the kids need that here. So I
No,
really
that's the
hope you will
goal.
actively do that when you come here. Um,
Yes. That's the goal.
you spoke about uh, doing a lot of your own research, looking at Reddit threads. I agree that's a great source of information, but again, with a pinch of salt. But did you have any mentors? Anyone who had done this before, who had walked this path, who was a published author? Did you have any such mentors that you sought out?
I had someone who definitely inspired me. My cousin on my father's side, her name is Zabi Yamasaki, and she's an author. I think she's published like 6+ books, and her she honestly. has lived a very, I want to say, a very challenging life, and the way she's come out of it, like if you just go and you see her Instagram, her voice itself is so soothing and so calming. And looking at her trajectory, looking at how where she is today, I had hope. Even though we are doing two very different things, what she does is very different and much more intense and so beautiful, so beautiful.
Mm.
And I'm so proud of her. And I was like, I definitely, I definitely hope I can do that in my own little space and my own niche. Um, so she's definitely one of my inspirations. I'm so proud of her.
What's her name again? Such a fascinating name. Zawi Yamazuki?
Yamasaki. Her name is so her
Yamasaki.
name is Zahabia, but she goes by Zabi Yamasaki. She's honestly, she's a beautiful soul.
Hmm.
Her Instagram is transcending trauma through yoga. So she's doing some beautiful things at the moment. I would definitely urge you to check out her channel. But yeah, she's published several books. I have it here as well, and she's got these cards. They're like mantra cards, and they have different yoga poses on it, and they tell you like how to like give yourself your body so much grace.
Hmm.
And I can't even explain, like the stuff she does is so beautiful. So definitely she's one of my inspirations. And other than that, I've obviously been following a lot of female South Asian authors, and their work is wonderful. Like the stories they're putting out at the moment, and highlighting different cultures and
Hmm.
religions. Like I follow a couple of these Bangladeshi women who have published beautiful children's books, and it's just so wonderful to see color, the
Yeah.
skin color as well. Just to see that on a page is so beautiful.
Mhm.
And other than that, of course, my husband, if he hadn't asked me that question, what is your purpose? I wouldn't be here. I
Hmm.
wouldn't, I think I'd just still be sitting and sort of rotting in my own head. And my parents and their dua power, as I like to call it.
Wow.
My when my I sent the book to my parents, and I wrote a little note at the start of the book, and my parents took a video because I asked them to when they see the book for the first time. Hanisha, they cried.
Of course.
They
Yeah.
they they wept, and my father saw the name. He saw Maria Adnan. And from the moment that I knew I was writing the book, I knew it had to be Maria Adnan. My last name is very long, so I didn't use it, but I wanted my father's name to be there because I wanted him to uh, just feel like, wow, my name is on the book. Like, and he had the exact reaction I hoped for. Yeah, the exact reaction, and they wept. They wept, and genuinely, like, and my sister, my brother-in-law, my nieces are my inspiration, as well. Like, just to be able to introduce something like this to them, they're so proud. Masi,
What
we're
a
so
gift.
proud of you. Yeah,
Yeah, what a gift.
yeah.
Uh,
And then, yeah,
I'm curious to know, did you use AI at all in this whole process?
not to write the book, because then that
Hmm.
would just take away from what I'm doing. It would have made it empty. And then you would be able, it's so easy to tell as well. When you've used AI to write,
Yeah.
it's so easy to tell. There are so many tells now. And, as a writer, I will say it's very easy to go down that rabbit hole, right? Of like AI helping you to write everything. But then what I've seen a lot of people doing is they're using it like a ghostwriter. So they're like putting in these prompts on ChatGPT. Like I need to tell you this story. I was doing some research and I came across this YouTube video of this lady, and it's pure clickbait title. How to generate thousands of dollars from self-publishing. I was like, yo,
Hmm.
let me click on this and see what she has to say. Maybe she has some wisdom to impart. 3 minutes into it, she's like, and you go on ChatGPT and you put this prompt in and to help it write the book for you. I was
Wow.
I went
Hmm.
straight to the comments. She was trashed in the comments. And I shut it because you cannot use AI to write a book for you. What is the point? My honest take is AI is a tool. You use it as a tool. Don't use it as your editor. Don't use it as your your copywriter, use it as a tool. Like for things that I could not understand, like for example, Ingram Spark like details, like for example, print specs that I
Okay.
could not find off of anywhere else. I would use
Right.
that. But along the journey also, I've realized, like I have realized over time, and I think all of us have realized it, AI is not foolproof. It is not accurate. It will always it makes mistakes. It'll never have the human touch. So you cannot rely on it. And also obviously the social impact it has, right? So I did not use AI to write the book. I did not use AI to illustrate the book either.
Hmm.
I feel like now this is like a what do you say? Like I have to preemptively like say this, just so
Yes.
people don't think it. You never know.
Yeah.
All it takes is someone to turn around and be like, "Oh, it looks like AI."
Mm-hmm.
Some random hate comment. I've seen it happen to somebody on a Facebook group that somebody
Mm.
just randomly said, "Oh, I think it's AI," and that's it. Like he couldn't sell the book. So it is sad that it's taking over in that manner, but use it as a tool, and that's just about it. And then you shut it, and then you focus on writing and writing good,
The
and
creating.
use real people. You okay, fine. If you are self-publishing and you don't have the budget to hire, an editor,
Hmm.
for example, use real people who read books to their kids, people who are avid readers themselves. You can find a lot of, they're called arc readers. You can find them.
Yes.
You don't have to pay them also. Send
Hmm.
them the book, they will give you genuine feedback. Just don't use AI for that. Please don't.
I love that answer. It's music to my ears because, as a creator, I don't want that joy of thinking to be taken by anyone. The joy of questioning to be done by a tool, a machine, and no one talks enough about the environmental impact of AI, and that worries me. So, I like that Duas in the Dark is a result of actual human creation, both in the writing, in the concept, and the illustration. We need to cherish that. I recently
Absolutely.
saw a movie. It was a very interesting movie, documentary style, and I allowed myself to be taken with the flow because it was a very different narrative. It was a futuristic African movie
Okay.
set in, a futuristic world. And it was so interesting. I've never seen anything like that before. The name of the movie, I'm not able to remember it.
Okay.
But at the end credits, when I saw the list of 20 AI tools that were used to create the
Oh
visual
my
effects,
gosh.
my heart broke. It was almost like I felt betrayed. So yeah, I don't know where the world is taking us when it comes to, the arts, how much it will be impacted, how much our creativity will be, I don't know, shackled. I don't know. I worry
Yeah.
about it. But
Yeah.
it takes, people like you and myself to keep at the creation, like keep at it. Uh,
Absolutely.
um,
And
yeah,
no, and it keeps us evolving as well. I think whatever, so many things that we do now, it can easily do it, and that's scary. I'm like, do I need to have a whole other career? That like, should I start doing labor work? Do you know what I mean? Like,
yes, yes,
where are we going? But I think I'm also trying to like not go into that black hole, because then that's just,
yeah.
it's too much for my mind at the moment. I think I'm just going to focus on what I have in my control, and
Mhm.
use AI very, very carefully. As somebody who is also, dabbles in anxiety,
Mhm.
it is very easy to go down a black hole with
Yeah,
AI. And, you have to remind yourself that this is just tech. This is not a human. You are not interacting with a human at this point. You're literally just talking to a machine, and
yes.
that in itself is crazy. It
I
is
don't know if you
crazy.
saw recently, but there are stories of these AI companies buying books in bulk en masse to scan. so that it's fed into the machine and then these books are just scrapped. It's quite tragic, but
I've seen
I think
that.
we'll avoid going down that rabbit hole because it makes me sad. I have a question about reading.
Yes.
You've been a voracious reader yourself. What would you tell mothers and kids today who find mental engagement easier through gadgets rather than a book? What would you tell them to convince them to pick up a book?
Oh wow. That one is very deep. I think from personal experience, my little one, she's had access to books obviously since the get-go because it was very important to me. This is actually her bookshelf behind. She has two of these, but she also keeps coming to my bookshelf. I have a longer, like taller one. She keeps coming to pick up my books too, and she doesn't understand anything.
Hmm.
She still likes to pick it up and read. And I see the difference in her eyes and her mind as she is working with a gadget, as she's playing with a gadget, and as she's looking at a book. And over time, she has now started to, again, she knows A, B, but she doesn't can't read a sentence. She's only 3. But now she will open the book. I'm gonna demonstrate with to us in the dark. She opens the book and she'll be like, and then he went to this place and then he did jumped over and he was so happy. She's remembering what I've read to her
Right.
and trying to piece the story together. Whereas with a gadget, and especially if it's one of those battery operated gadgets, it's just noise.
Yes.
Unless it's actually teaching her math. She does have like a little toy phone where it says, what is 1 plus 1? And then she has to press the number. Some toys like that, I would say, yes. But when do you give it? How often do you offer that toy? All of these things matter. So I would say your number one from the moment your little one is born, please give them to us in the dark. But I would say start with the soft books, go to the harder books so that it's not easy to tear, but have books around them so their
Hmm.
imagination can expand. There are such beautiful illustrations out there. Let them soak it all up. Let them soak the words up. Her language has changed because of the amount of books we read to her. Sometimes I have a little sofa for her. She comes and she picks up her books. She sits down and she will have like 10 books around her from her shelf and she's just flipping through the pages. But I would take that over any toy,
Mm-hmm.
any day.
And
Any
I've
day.
seen that with another friend. She inculcated this reading habit right from when her daughter was a small baby, and today she's, I think, just 3, and she can speak sentences.
Yeah,
It's amazing the learning curve you can have just by being surrounded by books.
absolutely.
Um, the power of reading, the power of books is so underrated today.
Truly.
Um, and with that, Maria, I think my question now moves on to what is next for you? You mentioned that with your publishing company called Love and Lights Press, you want to continue in the space of writing more faith driven books. Is that right?
Yes. Oh my gosh. There's so much I want to do, inshallah. I'm gonna keep a lot of it close to my chest for now until they
Mhm.
transpire. But what can I say? There's definitely, what I can say is there's more coming. It's gonna be, more for little ones. The one that I'm coming up with next is for slightly older kids, like 5 plus, 5, 6 plus, but it's all coming from the same series. So
Nice.
Lights and Love Press is the main umbrella brand, and underneath that I have the Little Dua's Big Hearts series. So that is all my faith books. And if anything else were to come which is non-faith, it would fall under the Lights and Love Press. But for Little Dua's Big Hearts series particularly, there'll be more gentle moments, more beautiful illustrations, more ways for kids to come, closer to Allah in their everyday lives. So the dream is bigger than just the one book, but we're just getting started. So yeah, just watch the space, watch my journey on Instagram, my new journey as a children's book author, and support it. I
More
think,
power to you. More power to you.
yeah, fingers crossed. Yeah.
So you so beautifully articulated over the past hour as to how you went from being a marketer in Dubai to a children's author in Canada. Um, if you had to condense all of that into 3 words to tell me, Maria, how you make things happen, 3 words, what would they be?
Oh gosh.
Okay,
Just,
it's
I don't
any
know, like,
easier. Phrases.
um, honestly, I just keep going. Your mind will tell you, and I'll add the reason why I need to add a line to that. Your mind will tell you it's not possible. Your mind will tell you you're not good enough. Just keep going and shut the noise out. Um, because it is possible. Just believe in yourself. And I struggled with that, and that's why I'm able to say it, but just believe in yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, just keep going. I said 6 words. It's 6 words.
I stopped counting, but I think what you had said earlier was also, if you say you're going to do a task today, do it today. Um, Stop worrying about having it all figured out. You will keep exploring as you go.
Yes.
So I think that's very important. A lot of people talk a lot, they dream a lot, they have a lot of ideas. But
Yeah.
what does it take to actually make it happen is to get things done, do it, as a commitment to yourself. So yes, believe in yourself and just keep going. Absolutely. You nailed it
Yeah.
on the head.
Yeah.
Um,
And I was gonna say, and one last thing. I was gonna say, I know it's your evening time now, but always end on this. Okay, this is the last page in my book. But it literally says, "Night, night, little one, you are so loved by Allah." And that's all we need to remember. And you change that to, whichever God you believe in, but at the end of the day, you're so loved. Don't forget that. We forget that. We
it's
are
so
all,
easy to forget that.
it's so easy to forget that, but we are loved and we are not alone. And yeah, we are safe. So just remember that.
I love it. Thank you, Maria. Your story has been so beautiful. It seems almost as if it was meant to be, but obviously only you know the struggles that you had to face to figure it out for yourself, figure out the next steps. And there's so much power in your story that if you have a bold vision in your mind, you can really make it happen. You don't need to have done it before. You don't need to have people in your life who have done it before. You could figure it out for yourself.
Yes.
And I could not think of a better guest to be on my podcast making things happen. So thank you so much, Maria. And I can't wait to see what you do next.
Thank
Thank you.
you. I'm so happy that we did this. And it's such a
Bye.
special little milestone for me as well to do this with you. So yeah, I'm really excited.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And that's today's show. If you like this conversation, please give me a 5-star rating on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you're listening to your podcast.